yards apiece. 10. 10. It's fine. Okay, got out of action. All right, what we have here is a replica British 3-pounder. The Americans only made a few cannons and was near the end of the war because we didn't have a foundry. So all of our guns are going to be either British or French. What we have here is a British 3-pounder. It weighs about 250 pounds, 300 pounds, depending if it's a brass or iron gun. A 4-pounder weighs about 2,000 pounds, and a 6-pounder weighs 3,000 pounds. Why is it called a 3, 4, and 6-pounder? How big the ball is. Okay? But I will tell you, in the movies, these are great. In the battlefields of South Carolina and in most battlefields, this is worthless. It's only 1 person wide, right? The range on this gun is about 1,000 yards. The 6-pound, and I fire a half-pound of powder in this. The 6-pounder with a full pound of powder is only 400 yards more. Those who understand that this is a direct fire weapon, I have to see what I'm shooting at. It's not indirect. We don't have exploding shells. But what I've got is this, 1-inch steel balls. The battles start at 300 yards. Typically, that's where the muskets fire. They're lined up and that's where they want to get to. They want to see if they can scare the other side off to see if the other side can fire 3 rounds a minute or not. But if you're a Continental or British regular, that is your standard. But if you go into the woods right over here, how far can you see? There are only 2 major roads, east, west, north, south, basically. The Great Wagon Road from Salisbury to Augusta, and then from Charlotte to Charlestown. All the rest were 1 horse wide, okay? And it was completely forested. As a matter of fact, when General Gates tried to come down and attack Camden in 1780, the local militia, he wanted to come straight from Charlotte down to Camden, and the militia said, no, it's a barren wasteland, meaning there was no way to get supplies. There were plenty of trees and stuff, very little water, but it was basically a barren wasteland of longleaf pine trees. So the battles were fought in areas where you didn't see 200 yards. So I'm going to start off with this, 1-inch steel balls backed up by a half-pound of powder. That's more powder and velocity that's in these muskets. And if you stick around afterwards, I'll give you the musket demo. When you get to 100 yards, at 100 yards is where the muskets might get 23% of hitting somebody. At 100 yards. But I'm going to go after you with this. It's a can. It's called a canister. I'm going to load it with musket balls, rocks, nails, chains. I am going to stop your bayonet attack. Because at 100 yards, you young folk, your 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds who are in the Army can probably run 100 yards in about 20 seconds. And what am I going to use? They're going to use the bayonet. 80% of casualties in the Revolutionary War were caused by edged weapons, bayonets and swords. The problem with the cannons in South Carolina is the United States Army, or the Continental Army, lost all our cannons at the Battle of Camden. We lost all 10 of them. The British captured them. The problem is these roads are not 2 horse wide. But this cannon, if you had it, is only 1 horse wide. So it's a very popular piece. The other thing about this is that it has handles in the back, and we have 2 handles in the front that have brackets. 4 men can litter carry this weapon into the battle and back out of the battle. Okay? Plus it's only 1 horse wide and can maneuver through the wood, climb over the stone and fences. Okay? Okay. Crewed by a crew of 5. Typically there'd be, and they were, how many artillery guys here? Anybody? I know there's 1. These stick around. All right. Any mortarmen here? All right. These were set in pairs. Okay? And I told you, muskets have to load every 20 seconds. That was a standard.